I have a feeling I might be getting myself in trouble with our kings and queens with my current outlook on the status of the kingdom, but we'll see how that actually plays out.
I have a greater mission. As things change, I remain the same. Trying to keep sane. Stuck in the struggle, trying to gain. I have a greater mission. I hope that you listen.
That is what I said at the end of my last video, but I said all of it to just say this. When it comes to the kingdom, the kings and queens and so on and so forth, the questions I always had, because I want to know what you think about this. What I want to know is when it comes to your king, being a king, a queen in the community, is it, as long as you have your crown and a throne to sit on, does it really matter what the kingdom is? Or are you actually doing things where it's not just talk and good plans and good points, but it's things that you're actually putting into application, and you're doing it in such a way that those who are a part of the kingdom want to follow your footsteps or want to apply those things to their lives because they see how not only it can benefit them, but it can benefit the community and the kingdom as well. That's the question I have. My conclusion from what I've seen all of this, all the back and forth and all the talking back and forth. Number one, financially, we will continue to grow and do better in the Black community because of financial literacy, understanding stocks and so on and so forth. Now, whether putting it back in the community, that's still yet to be determined, to be seen. But as far as continue to grow economically, because I know some people will say, well, we already did, we grossed this much money a year, but we spend it elsewhere. Hey, I'm not an economist, so I don't know the allocation of funds. I just see what's because of the financial literacy. At least we're trending in the right direction there. Education wise, seeing people, especially our ladies, continue going to school, getting their degrees. What I'm hoping to see from that degrees, because even though I see people use that a lot about, I got this degree, I got that degree, I've achieved this, which is, I'm not saying are unimportant at all. I hope I do get to see more people who are getting these degrees, they're actually able to use them, because I'm hearing a lot of rumblings that although people are getting certain degrees, they're not necessarily in the field that they got that degree in. So I hope that I can see more of that and that's with the men and the women. That's not just specifically aimed at any one specific person, but people are able to do that and to utilize that. So then they're not drowning in debt for the next 10, 15, 20 years trying to pay off student loans for a degree they weren't even able to get a job in that field to utilize it. Speaking of which, number 3, taking mental health more seriously. I'm glad to see more and more people talk about therapy or becoming therapists and just dealing with past hurts and traumas and finding better ways to be able to navigate to get to their happiness, to find their peace, and to be able to then express that to others and to deal with each other in a more healthier way, in a more constructive way, instead of this nonsense I've been seeing online of people going back and forth with each other's necks and each other's heads. Ironically, seeing people going back and forth, there are some people who make some valid points on both ends, but ultimately though, it's still a high level of toxicity. And I hope because of people seeking therapy, dealing with their trauma, that they're able to, like I said, do it a way that they can come together instead of having to keep ranting about these extremes of what they're going to do to divest from each other. Which leads to my 4th thing that I see in my conclusion of all this, is that I see us continuing to grow and to find a way to master co-parenting. But as far as relationships are concerned, I'm not convinced. It's not, at least not when it comes to committed relationships. If anything, committed relationships for the next 10 to 20 years, I see it lasting 5 years, maybe 10. And that's just committed. I ain't even talking about married. I'm just talking about committed relationships, because people don't know what to do. People, from what I've witnessed, they're equating too much of their achievements, their accomplishments, and their finances, and very little on character or accountability. So therefore, people are saying, they're saying 2 things. They're either saying, because I've achieved all these things, it makes me a suitable partner. So therefore, you better bring all these things to the table, which I'm about to get to, that's saying, but you got to bring all these things to the table to be suitable for me, but you have to accept me as I am, which is ridiculous. Or they're basically saying, hey, yeah, I personally don't have all these things, but you better have all these things, because that's the only way you're truly going to be an acceptable partner, which is still ridiculous within itself. When I want to say to these people, when you say these things out loud and you hear yourself, you're still in the process of building, but you expect that the other person to already have everything. You don't think how foolish that sounds? Which leads me to that whole, what do you bring to the table thing, which I always find funny how offended people get about it one way or the other. So you have a responsible adult over here who meets another responsible adult over here. So you have a place, you have a job, and you have transportation. Congratulations, you're an adult. So what is it that characteristics or things that you bring to a relationship that will want to make somebody invest in you the one thing they can never get back? And that's time. I don't know. That's just my conclusion of all this, my rant. I want to know what you think. You know, there are going to be some things I probably said in this that you disagree with. There might be some things you agree with, but this is to get the conversation, because unlike some people, and this is not me bragging, but let me just go ahead and put it out there anyway. When I have conversations, whether it's with people online and especially with people in person, I take into consideration and I actually listen to what people have to say when it comes to their experiences and things like that. The life that I have with the woman that I have it with is not by accident. It's not by accident. I've learned from other people's mistakes, and I've listened to people who were able to give me guidance and do it in a way where it wasn't baked in bitterness or anger or just trying to get back and be revengeful and spiteful. But from people who are saying, hey, I made this mistake, I've made that mistake, I've learned from it. This is what you should consider and think about if you're going to pursue a relationship, whether this is a committed relationship or marriage, and if you bring children in this world. And because of that, and listening to wise counsel, listening to people, paying attention, having my eyes wide open, my ears wide open, it's yielded me the results I wanted. You know, like I said, I'm not saying this to brag, but I'm thankful for where I am, and I give all credit to the Most High for this, but I'm thankful for what I have, for being given the wisdom to not only seek it out early, but then to hopefully being an encouragement to others. Because like I said, I understand the kingdom and the importance of the kingdom, and people want to see, but I also know I got to play my part and not just be on here just talking about this, that, and the other, but I have to have my house in order and show you what it looks like. I mentioned that in a previous video where I talked about 6 things I must remember, where I said, instead of complaining about what's lacking, show what having abundance looks like. So this is me playing my part in doing that. But like I said, tell me what you think. Let's have a conversation in the comment section below. Like I said, remember, just be respectful. But that's it for my little 3-part series. If I want to add any more things, or if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Like I said, this is the dialogue we're trying to have. This is a conversation we're trying to have to not only find solutions, but then also to find ways to apply those solutions. I don't want to be one of those people that we know what to do to fix it, but we ain't moving in the direction we need to do to fix it. But I'm ranting, I'm rambling, but that's all. So as always, be wise, and until I see you all next time, have a great day.